Alright, so right now I'm trying to warm up myself for a little bit of tension in my right throwing arm. So I play a lot of dodgeball on Mondays and I have a game tonight. I don't think I can make it to actually, but anyway. Lots of tension, right scapula going up from pretty much my rotator cuff into my lat, down into some of my serratus. So this is all pretty much a bunch of musculature that connects tricep, my arm, to my back, shoulder blade, all the way down, that allows it to function in with my abdominals through my serratus right in here. So I want to be able to loosen this all up. This all has to be loose. So you can start very simple, some arm shoulders. Right now, get a little bit of pull in my lower left pec muscle. Okay, it's a good sign that it's tight. I want to be able to relieve that. Go a different direction, see if I could get some of this clicking out now. I can do everything from slowing it down, a little bit fuller range of motion, I still get one small click there, to let's work on to some tension so we actually feel our bodies moving dynamically through tension. That gives me a little bit extra pull right here in the bicep. I want to be able to relieve that, and again, reverse that motion. Big pop right there, felt real nice to relieve some of that tension. Right now I'm extending my arm as long as I can to push out like I'm pushing back in a wave. Don't want to forget the other side. This side maybe not as tight, little less attention to it. You can kind of float in and out, make sure that everything feels good, going in the same ranges of motions. Again, on this back side, I get a little bit of a click going down. I could spin my wrist now and show you right here, spin, back down, get a little bit of a different kind of range of motion here. So there's still some clicking in there, which could allow me, you see me right here, tuck in my chin. Really try to flatten out my spine as much as I possibly can. Can't really see myself here, but I'll put in some corrections in a little bit. Now you could see this lower junction right here, that lower curvature, also known as a little bit of lordosis in the spine. Okay, we want to be able to kind of get rid of that TL junction, so where the T spine hits the L spine. So again, tight core. Just want to see it kind of flatten out as much as possible. You can see the lower back push back with deep inhales. Really want to feel the ribs open up on this one too, so I'll get a little closer. You can see the front abdomen right here pushing out. I'm also trying to flare out my sides as much as possible. Can't really see it in that one, but notice in through the nose, like it blowing out of a straw through the mouth. You want to focus on that sort of breathing as much as you can. On this side you can see it a little bit more, again, that lower spine. Want to even that all up. Now I can move back to my arm swings, go overhead a couple times. You know, maybe start to get the body ready for that throwing motion. Right now I'm moving the hips back and forth. Can't really see it too well, but if you can just imagine I'm in a split stance, kind of like I'm about to pitch, right? And then forward, see how that motion alone. Now I can stay out in this motion, right? I didn't step back yet. I'm still planted right here with my left foot forward and my right foot back, okay? I want to be up high on my back foot. So I'm on my toe on my back foot. I'm just practicing throwing over. You guys can see part of my hand. It's extended out, pointing where I want to aim. I just want to grease that groove. Take it all the way back and forward again. All the way back, forward again, okay? Just don't do one thing on one side, do it on both sides again. Forward, back, back. I have a little bit of tension right there in my lower back from that, okay? So that goes to show me that that twisting motion, my left side is coming in, my right is pulling back. That puts a little bit of tension on my lower spine, okay? So although this isn't my typical throwing motion, I want to pay attention to that because that's an asymmetry where I don't really feel it in the spine here, but I feel it in the spine here, meaning that this abdominal right here going into my core is a little weaker. I'm a little less engaged on the left side of the hip, and I'm a little too tight on the right glute, and probably going down, again, that right lat. I mentioned that earlier, right? My right lat is a little bit tensed up. That's what I was kind of mobilizing in the first place. So Good area of focus right now I can figure out is boom, left abdominal. I want to focus on that in some of my exercises. So, being here in the room, we could just kind of get the left hand up, okay? Feet together or feet separated, whatever you want to do, and just push as hard as you can into the wall. You guys can see arm flares up a little bit, kind of keeping that through the straw breathing. I'm pushing as hard as I can. I don't want too much flexion in my arm. I'm just pushing in as hard as I can. Don't let the lower back arch. Remember the breathing, keep that flare out. And relax, okay? Now, the other side could be a little bit different, so we want to stabilize that front, but we really need it to resist rotation as we move through. So the right hand's just going to come up onto the doorway here. You guys could probably take it up to where you have, close to a 90-degree angle, just like in the throwing arm position, okay? And just here, you guys can see just the pinkies on the wall, feet again, narrow hip width apart, okay? Hands tight to the side to control tension and motion. Push on. As soon as you turn on, you should feel those quadriceps turn on. Maybe push back to the heels. I want to try to keep this elbow as down and close as possible. I want all the tension on the outside of my arm. I'm starting to feel a little bit of buildup right in here. Try to sink that into your lat. You want to throw from in here. I'm going to stop talking and focus on my left abdominal. Hold it tight. Hold it tight. Feel a little bit of the pull in the lower back. Keep on with the breathing. Left quad's tensing up. Cat's trying to work. Good, and relax. Cat. So I felt that starting to kind of the left lower back going to the left quadricep. What does that tell me? That tells me that you will have a little bit of engaging to do on that left side. Okay? Not so much the right side. We're trying to loosen that right side. Remember, right lat's tight, right quad tight. Left side isn't as engaged. We want to work on that as much as possible. Okay? So that's a really great way to kind of go after, your pre-warm-up dodgeball throw. Okay? So I'll let this one kind of sink in, and if you've ever had a sore arm from throwing, again, this is majority of throws out there, whether it's something relatively light and you're throwing it hard, football, baseball, dodgeball, whatever it is. We all have mechanics that we could work on for the specific sport, of course, but this is proper mobilization engagement for throwing, for life, for your body. So thanks for watching. Check it out later.